The Bucks, baby. We did it, y'all. one of the uh, one of the absolute best days of my life. 31st birthday today, February 7th, 1990. The Buccaneers are Super Bowl champs. Let me say that again. The Buccaneers are the Super Bowl champs. This game was just an overall beatdown of the Chiefs. What an incredible performance by Brady. You put up 31 points, which I predicted on my 31st birthday. You can't be nothing but just, excited. I think that this Super Bowl run is, by far more impressive than our run in '02 for a myriad of reasons. Pandemic being the first one. We go into the season with the pandemic going on, players being in and out of the lineup throughout the year. Then you look at our teams that we had to face going into this playoffs. We had the Redskins, which weren't necessarily a tough team, but then after that you got Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, besides Brady, arguably the three best quarterbacks in the last 20 or so years, maybe even 30 years. So just the amount that our defense had to step up in 2020 was just insane. So I think that even if you look back into the 2002 season, we had, what was it? I want to say we only had to play 3 games, by the way. We had the Niners, we had the Eagles, and then we had the Raiders. So you got, Jeff Garcia, Donovan McNabb, and what is his name? Rich, you guys know who I'm talking about. He won the MVP, Rich Gannon. He won the MVP that year, but beyond that year, he was kind of a one-year wonder. So I'll take Aaron Rodgers, Brees, and Mahomes over all those quarterbacks any day of the week. So just this run itself is just, so impressive. In terms of, just kind of my personal opinions on the game, I remember back in '02, being, I think I was 13 at the time, being a kid watching the game at, I think it was at my parents' friend's house. And similar situation, the Raiders were favored, and we ended up pulling it off. But today, it being my birthday, the Super Bowl's in Tampa, they've, put up 31 points to match, my 31st birthday is just probably, one of, if not the best day that I've had as a sports fan and just life in general. So super excited. The road that this team has had to go through, or the fans have had to go through since 2010 till basically last season, we've been, one of the worst teams in football, just absolutely terrible draft picks, coaches, no playoff appearances whatsoever. So, it's just a decade of terrible football. And then as soon as, when we signed Tom Brady in the offseason, I knew kind of immediately it was going to be a big turn for this franchise. So, oh man, I've seen a lot of people online talking about how the refs, made some bad calls, and I'm like, nah. Each of those pass interference calls, the ref that was on the broadcast was saying that those were good calls. And even if you give all the calls to the Chiefs, you got beat down 31-9. You didn't even score a touchdown. So I don't want to hear that at all. This team has a good chance to run it back. Brady's coming back. Gronk's coming back. If we lose a couple people, maybe Leonard Fournette and AB, we'll be able to get, I'm sure now that we won the Super Bowl, just like what's been happening in the NFL, there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to kind of try and ring chase with us. So we'll probably pick up 2 or 3 big free agents um, in in the spring, which is going to be, um, I think, is if we can, continue our progression on offense and defensively, we had a great run defense this year, but our defense didn't necessarily play that great all throughout the season. So this team can still get better, which is scary. So. Um, Getting into the game itself, I mean, you had the defense that stepped up early and often. Obviously, I think that was the biggest key to success. But you can't sleep on what Brady did. 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. We were running the ball well. Ronald Jones had a good game. He had 2 or 3, big runs. Leonard Fournette had 2 or 3 big runs. Gronkowski with, key plays. It's unfortunate that Scotty Miller and what's the guy's name? Jesus, Scotty Miller and I forget his name. Anyways, they didn't really have too big of a performance. Neither did Chris Godwin. But we just needed a couple plays, down the field to get us into the red zone, and then the running game was just so huge after that. But defensively, I mean, Shaq Barrett, great game. I think what was his name? Cam Gill had a sack. Dominican Sue, Vita Vea. I mean, we just put pressure on this guy. I think that we really gave the blueprint to the NFL on how to play the Chiefs. You just got to double coverage, bracket coverage, Tyreek Hill. Let Travis Kelce kind of have those over the middle catches, but nothing deep, nothing cheap, and then just rush your 3 or 4 guys, and I think Todd Bowles did a hell of a job on the defensive end, and that basically was the game. We just totally dominated them from the first quarter to the end of the game. You go into a Super Bowl with one of the best offenses in the past 20 years, and they only put up 9 points, don't score a single touchdown. I mean, probably one of the best defensive performances in the Super Bowl that I can remember. Even the OT Bucks team, we had a bunch of turnovers and pick sixes and whatnot, but I believe they still scored 22 points, or 21 points. I can't remember. And then with the Ravens Super Bowl, they only had I think maybe 2 picks and a couple sacks, but the Giants scored on them. The only thing that I can think of that would match that was when the Seahawks really kind of broke down the Broncos in that Super Bowl. But beyond that, just an overall amazing performance by the defense. We got a bunch of stud young corners, 2 of the best linebackers in the league. I think, unfortunately, we're probably going to lose Sue, maybe because he's getting old. We're going to have to get younger on the defensive line. That's going to need to be addressed. But, in Jason Light, we trust at right now. But I don't want to look too far into the future. I just really want to kind of savor this Super Bowl win. Oh, you see it. John Lynch, Hall of Famer, just went up in value. Congrats to John Lynch. Couldn't have been on a more perfect day. Bucks win the Super Bowl. Yeah, but it's, Bucks winning the Super Bowl is just so surreal right now. I think that, as the weeks go on, it's just going to be fun to talk shit to all the haters. Tell them kiss the ring. We got about a whole 6-month time period before we get kind of in the middle of next year to take a seat at the throne and be the kings of the NFL world. So anyways, quick breakdown. Thanks for tuning in. I might do a couple videos during the off season when we start making moves and whatnot, but this will be my last video for a while. Appreciate anybody that has followed, liked, subscribed. Hopefully we'll build the channel up a little bit more going into next year. That's my hope anyways. But appreciate anybody for following and listening and liking and all that jazz. So I'll keep you guys posted. The C. Tyson synopsis. Buccaneers, Super Bowl champions, 2021. Let's go.